Okay, hey everyone, welcome to this particular lab. So, in this lab, what we are going to do is we are going to see if, suppose, what happens if we have lost our key pair but we are not able to log into the EC2 instance. And but one good thing is we have the systems manager agent or SSM agent that is running within the EC2 instance. How do we configure our EC2 instance to be managed by systems manager service? And then how do we log into our EC2 instance using the browser-based sessions manager login? And also how do we run some commands on our EC2 instance and look at the output, right? So to get started with this, we already have an EC2 instance that is running, and you can see over here our EC2 instance that is in the running status is this guy, and we have called him as my web server lost key pair, and then we are going to allow systems manager to go ahead and manage this particular EC2 instance. So we are going to open up systems manager. So I'm going to go ahead and type systems manager and open it up in a new tab or in the same tab. Yeah. So you can see over here, we can click on get started with systems manager, but on the left side, you can see that we have a functionality called as quick setup. So when we click on that quick setup, so it automatically takes us to a page wherein we'll be able to, configure some of the details such as managed instances. Inventory collection is still pending and it's happening. We have the SSM agent configuration within the EC2 instance and so on. So we can edit all of these properties. So the first time that you set up systems manager, you would click on edit all properties and then you would choose an existing IAM role, or you would let systems manager create two IAM roles for you. One IAM role is for systems manager to go ahead and manage all of your EC2 instances, and the other IAM role is it's a default role that systems manager creates on your behalf for doing the quick setup and so on. So we will go ahead and we already have this set it up. So we can go ahead and choose two existing roles. But if you are doing it for the first time, go ahead and choose two roles over here, which systems manager itself will create. And then you can see over here, we can choose these options wherein we can allow the systems manager agent to be updated every 2 weeks. And then we can scan the inventory, all the applications that are running within our EC2 instance for every 30 minutes. And then we can scan the instances for any patches that are missing on a daily basis. And then we can also choose systems manager to install and configure the CloudWatch agent and also update that agent once every 30 days. So I would like all of these features. So I'm going to go with all of these features. And now over here, you can choose all of your EC2 instances in the current AWS account and region, or you can go ahead and choose based on tags, or you can directly manually choose the EC2 instances. So the way I did it right now is go ahead and chose my instance manually. This is the instance that we are doing. So go ahead and click on this EC2 instance and then automatically scroll down over here and then click on reset. So that's going to go ahead and install all of these configurations on your EC2 instance, whether it being the CloudWatch agent or whether it is the systems manager agent and so on. So once you have added all of these and you have waited for 1 or 2 minutes until all of these come up to success status, the next thing that you will have to do is go back to your EC2 instance. Go back to your EC2 instance and you will have to attach an IAM role for the EC2 instance to be managed by systems manager. So you can go to running instances, and right now I have attached that role to this EC2 instance. And how do you attach a role to a running EC2 instance is go to, click on the EC2 instance and click on actions, click on instance settings, attach replace IAM role. And right now I have already attached this particular IAM role, which was created by systems manager to manage the EC2 instances. So it should be of type, the trust relationship on this role should be of type ec2.amazonaws.com, and then only we'll be able to attach this IAM role to the EC2 instance. So once you attach this IAM role and click on apply, right? So now all you have to do is go back to systems manager, and then you have one particular service over here in systems manager called as sessions manager. And when you click on sessions manager on below, you can see we can start a new session. And once we click on start session, you can see that we already have our EC2 instance listed over here because it's being managed by systems manager. We can go ahead and click on start session. So it's going to open a browser based session for you. And then we will be able to go ahead and execute our Linux commands on our EC2 instance, right? So you can look at the root directory and so on. So let me just click over here and type ls. So you can see this is our directory. So we can go to the cd home directory, right? So that's present, right? Yeah, you can go to the home directory. And then over here, you can see the usual EC2-user. And they also have one called as SSM-user that was installed once we have chosen for systems manager to go ahead and manage our EC2 instance, right? So if you want to terminate the browser-based SSH session, you can go ahead and click on terminate, and then you can terminate this particular session. So right now, without having any key pairs, we were able to go ahead and access our EC2 instance using the systems manager service and specifically using the sessions manager. So now let's see one more small property before wrapping up systems manager. We are going to go ahead and look at the property called as a run command. And in this particular property, what we are going to do is we are going to run a particular shell script command on this particular EC2 instance. So let's go ahead and click on run command. And now you can see we have different options like configuring Docker or going ahead and configuring the AWS packages, or even going ahead and applying certain chef recipes or Ansible playbooks. But something that we are concerned on that we are going to do right now is we have one called as run shell script. So we are going to go ahead and use that. So we're going to use this particular document, right? And then we are going to go ahead and specify our command. So let's go ahead and specify ls-la. So this is one run command that I would like to execute on that EC2 instance. So you can see the targets over here. We are going to choose the instances manually, and you can see we already have this particular EC2 instance running on behalf of Systems Manager and as a managed instance, right? So we can go ahead and choose this instance and then go ahead and click on. So if you want to also go ahead and configure the output of that ls-la command to store it in a file and within the S3 bucket, you can do that. You can also configure for additional CloudWatch logs output, but you will have to present the name of your log group over here. But we are not going to configure any of these settings, so we are going to disable the output options. But even this is possible, and you can also choose to get SNS notifications after the command has finally run, right? So what's going to happen in the background, like what AWS CLI command is going to be executed, is being mentioned over here. So it's going to send that particular command with the document name called as run shell script and with the document version 1. And it's going to use the target, which is our EC2 instance that we have specified, right? And it's going to go ahead and execute this particular command on that EC2 instance, which is a managed instance. So let's go ahead and run this command, and let's wait for a second or two until this command has finished running. So right now it's showing success. So now let's look at this particular command's status. So the status is success. Okay, so let's click on this and let's click on view output. So you should be able to see the output over here that it has listed all of the directories within my Linux file system. All of these directories were the directories that you saw when you did a browser-based SSH session using the sessions manager and you listed ls, right? So this is how you go ahead and run commands like shell script commands or any kind of document that as a systems manager run command supports on your EC2 instance that is being managed by systems manager. So hope you got a hang of it right now that we saw only two properties over here. One is SSHing into the EC2 instance based on a browser-based SSH session. For setting up all of these, the prerequisite were that you'll have to set up systems manager first for a targeted set of instances. And once it has installed and run the SSM agent, you have to go ahead and modify your IAM role to reflect the systems manager created role. Once you have attached that IAM role, you'll have to wait for a second or two once it's being picked up as a managed instance. Once it's picked up as a managed instance, you will be able to do something like sessions manager or run command and so on. So you can also see the inventory if suppose there are any kind of applications that you're running. So you can see that we have some inventory that has been picked up over here for that particular EC2 instance. So probably let's go for a detailed view and let's also look at this particular stuff. So right now we'll have to choose the inventory type. Okay, so there is no data sync also. Okay, so probably let's just look at some of these properties. So there is an AWS application, some network is showing over here. So I mean, some basic inventory that you can see, but probably once you have installed certain applications, you will have more data over here. So these are the three things that we will see today regarding that we saw today regarding systems manager, where we saw a little kind of basic introduction to inventory, but we saw as to how to run specific commands based on documents that they had already given, and how do you do a browser based SSH session and so on. So I'll open this for any kind of questions that you guys may have. Okay.